Well, hello. I'm so pleased you could join us this week. I was really sad when I thought that Holiday Club couldn't happen this year, so I'm really pleased we've got computers and the internet. But things are very different, aren't they? And it's been strange not seeing friends, not being able to go out and play. I wonder what you've missed most about it all. I've missed seeing friends and having a nice chat with a nice cup of tea, and usually a nice piece of cake too. But have you ever thought what it would be like if it was like that all the time? How you would tell each other things without the internet or telephones or even postmen? It was like that in Jesus' time. Can you imagine? If you were having a party and wanted to invite your friends, you couldn't just send them a text or pick up the phone and call them. You would either have to take the invitations yourself or get someone else to do it for you. In the Roman fort at Vindolanda on the Roman wall, they've found wooden tablets with wax on them, and in the wax people have written letters to be taken to their friends. One lady wrote to her friend asking her to come to her birthday party, but her friend wasn't nearby. She wasn't even in the same country, so it must have taken ages for the invitation to go out, and then for her friend to reply. Months! And it was like that all the time. So if you were a very important person and you wanted everyone to know something, how do you think you would do it? Well, you would send out your heralds to shout out the news in the marketplaces of all the towns and villages in the country, and soldiers to make sure everybody listened. So it would take a long time, wouldn't it? Can you remember in our Bible passage today why Mary and Joseph were travelling to Bethlehem? Because the Roman governor had decreed, that means he told everybody, and they had to do it, that everyone had to go to the place where they were born so their names could be written on a register. Then the Romans would know who everyone was and where they were from. Can you remember the governor's name? It was a very funny name. It was Quirinius. Imagine being called Quirinius. Anyway, that's why Mary and Joseph were travelling to Bethlehem, and that's where Jesus was born. We wanted to tell you about Jesus' whole life this week, so we had to tell you about his birthday. That's a very important day, isn't it? And Jesus is a very important person. Now Mary knew that Jesus was God's son because an angel had told her so. And of course God wanted everyone to know about his son. So how do you think he did that? Did he choose an important person to send his soldiers and heralds to tell everyone? No. Who did he choose to tell first? Can you remember from the Bible reading that Sarah did earlier? He told shepherds, and he sent his angels to tell them. Wow! Now in those days, shepherds lived out in the fields near their sheep, and people didn't like them very much. They were known as being rough and tough, men to be avoided. Well, the angels didn't avoid them that night, did they? What a shock that was. Can you imagine? Sitting there, minding your own business, when wham, the sky fills with light, with the glory of the Lord is how the Bible puts it, and an angel is talking to them. An angel. No wonder they were frightened. And not only that, the angel had a message for them. For them, a good news message. Oh, we all like those, don't we? Can you remember what the message was? The angel said that their Saviour had been born and he was Christ the Lord. They would be able to find him lying in a feeding box. A feeding box. And the Lord was a baby. God's people had been waiting for centuries for the Saviour that God had promised them, but they were expecting a warrior and a king, someone who would defeat the Romans and put them in charge. But a baby? That didn't make sense. But then, as if one angel wasn't enough, there was suddenly a large group of them, all praising God and lighting up the night sky. Then suddenly they were all gone, back to heaven. Well, can you imagine what the shepherds felt like then? Shocked, I should think. And they must have had a lot of questions. What just happened? Why are they telling us? What do we do now? So what did they do? They decided to go to Bethlehem and find out for themselves. Off they went, leaving their sheep behind, and they found Mary and Joseph in the stable behind the inn in Bethlehem, just as the angels had said. And sure enough, there was Jesus lying in a feeding box. Amazing. The shepherds told everyone about the angels, that they'd really seen them and what they'd said, about the good news the angels had told them, how Jesus was the Saviour, the rescuer they'd all been waiting for, and he would bring peace to God's people, this little baby in the stable. Everyone was amazed, but Mary, she kept all these things in her heart and kept thinking about them. She'd already met an angel, remember? One angel told her that she would have God's son, so she already knew how special Jesus was, didn't she? Do you know how special Jesus is? The more I find out about him, the more special he becomes to me, and I'm looking forward to finding out more this week. I hope you are too, and you have fun doing it. Bye.